This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Already less transitory than forecast, central bankers' inflation headache may be about to become more acute as they face the prospect of $100 plus oil that lifts consumers' price expectations and intensifies simmering wage hike pressures. Brent crude futures, which soared 50% in 2021, are up a further 14% already in 2022 at 7-year highs of $89 a barrel. With production capacity tight, inventories low and geopolitics racking several producing regions, oil is hurtling towards $100, a level Goldman Sachs predicts will be breached by mid-year. J.P. Morgan predicts oil could reach $125 a barrel this year and $150 in 2023.
Saudi Arabia retained its top ranking in Chinese oil supplies in 2021, with supplies up 3.1% over 2020, and increased its share to 17% of total Chinese imports, customs data showed. China brought in 87.58 million tons of crude oil from the kingdom, or an equivalence of 1.75 million barrels per day, BPD, data from the General Administration of Customs showed on Thursday. That compares to 84.92 million tons in 2020, when Saudi Arabia held 16% of the Chinese market. The expanded market share by the top OPEC exporter came as it boosted sales to national refiners and bolstered by demand from private mega-refiners Zhejiang Petrochemical Corp and Hengli Petrochemical.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
OPEC's share of Indian oil imports fell in 2021 to the lowest in more than a decade despite a 4% rebound in annual crude purchases by the world's third biggest oil importer, data obtained from industry sources showed. Members of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, mainly from the Middle East and Africa, saw their share of the pie in India shrinking to 70% in 2021, from a peak of 87% in 2008. A Reuters analysis of the data from 2007 to 2021 showed. India's crude imports rebounded 3.9% to 4.2 million barrels per day, BPD, in 2021, the data showed, but remained below pre-pandemic levels in 2019.
UAE Energy Minister Suhail Al-Mazrouei said on Wednesday that he was not worried about the short term, when asked about predictions that oil prices will rise above $100. The price of benchmark Brent crude gained 0.33% on Wednesday to $87.76 per barrel, as oil rose for a fourth day as an outage on a pipeline from Iraq to Turkey added to worries about an already tight supply outlook amid geopolitical troubles involving Russia and the United Arab Emirates. I will never give a prediction on a price. We will continue to do our work of increasing the supply of 400,000 barrels of oil per day, he told reporters on the sidelines of the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week. Next, we have the top news in metal. Global primary aluminium output fell 1.25% year-on-year in December to 5.622 million tons. Data from the International Aluminium Institute, IAI, showed on Thursday. Estimated Chinese production declined to 3.192 million tons in December versus 3.3 million tons in the same month in 2020. The IAI said.
Low inventories propelled prices for nickel to 11-1 half-year highs on Thursday, with future demand expected to rocket thanks to higher electric vehicle battery consumption. Benchmark 3-month nickel on the London Metal Exchange (LME) climbed 1.1% to $23,375 per ton, its highest since August 2011. The most traded February nickel contract on the Shanghai Futures Exchange hit a record high of $27,796.52 a ton. The nickel price rally is likely to have been boosted by robust demand prospects and supply concerns, said Commerzbank analyst Daniel Briesemann.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
China's soybean imports from the United States in 2021 rose from the previous year as it stepped up agricultural purchases under a trade deal agreed with Washington, while annual Brazilian shipments fell, customs data showed on Thursday. The world's top soybean importer brought in 32.3 million tons of U.S. soybeans in 2021, up 25% from 25.89 million tons in 2020, data from the General Administration of Customs showed. Annual soybean imports from Brazil came in at 58.15 million tons, down 9.5% from 64.28 million in 2020, the data also showed.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.